Welcome to Spring Boot tutorial. This new video I'm going to secure a Spring Boot app with Let's Encrypt certificates. I'm going to create a Let's Encrypt certificate and automatically renew the certificates. The first thing we need to do is to create a domain name. I have created really my home lab DuckDNS.org. I use DuckDNS because it's simple and free. Next step is to open ports on your modem or router. I have two ports open, 8443 for the app, the Spring Boot app, and you go to my Fedora server. And port 80 goes also to my Fedora server. The port 80 is used by Let's Encrypt and Certbot. Step is install Certbot. With Certbot, we're gonna create and renew the Let's Encrypt certificates. I open the command line, do SSH to our Fedora server, give the password, and we are in. First thing is sudo DNS to update the system. Password. And you see the system is up to date, nothing to do. But it's always good practice to update your system. The next thing is sudo DNS install Certbot. Okay, and you see we're going to install Certbot 3.3.0 and a couple of dependency, mostly Python 3. It's okay, yes, and we are installing Certbot. As you can see here below, the renew timer is not activated automatically. We need to do it ourselves. So I copy the command, copy it, paste it in, and activate it. We need to authenticate with our root password. Okay, et voilà. Now we can look systemctl status Certbot renew timer. Okay, and you see the timer is enabled and active. To see if the timer is working correctly, you have the command systemctl list timers. And you see I have a couple of timers, but also Certbot renew service and Certbot renew timer. More in a minute. Step is to configure the Fedora FireWall. The command sudo FireWall command list all. As you can see, services, we have Cockpit, the HCP client, Samba and SSH, and ports 8080 and 8443. 8443 is for our Spring Boot app. But we need to open the HTTP service or port 80. Copy the command, sudo firewall command add service HTTP, make it permanent. Enter, success. Now we reload the firewall with sudo firewall command reload. Again, success. Now we go back to the list all command, click on it, and we see we have services HTTP. You see it here. Now we are ready to create a certificate. to create our certificate. Sudo Certbot, cert only, so we only want a certificate, standalone. We don't have a web server, email address, and the domain name we created by DuckDNS.org. Enter. Password, because we use sudo. And we create the certificate. It can take some time. I speed up the video and come back when everything is ready. It's okay. We have a certificate. You see it here. ATC, let's encrypt, live, the domain name, fullchain.pem. And again, ATC, let's encrypt, live, domain name, private key. For the next step, we open IntelliJ. As you can see, I use 2025.2. We have here a couple of apps from previous videos, but today we use remote development. Click SSH, see our Fedora server, and we have two apps. One is Spring Boot Demo. Open it. It's only 1 minute. And we give the password. See, password. Authenticate. See, preparing directories. Remote IDE. And the app is opening. I used it app, the Spring Boot app from a previous video. You see the POM, we use 4.0.0 snapshot, the main class, applications properties with the SSL configuration and the Hello World controller. Today we work here, applications properties. As you can see, now we have here two certificates, demo.crt and demo.key. The two are self-signed certificates. Today we're going to change that and we're going to use the certificates from Let's Encrypt, so we don't have an error from our browser. We have to copy the keys, the certificates from the Let's Encrypt directory to our cert directory inside our app. So from here, these two keys to our cert directory. Therefore, I open the terminal, do sudo, and paste the command. So copy from the Let's Encrypt directory, fullchain.pem, to our Spring Boot cert directory. Enter. Password, because we have sudo. And voila, our first key is okay. Now I copy the second command for our second key. Again, sudo, paste in command. Again, copy the private key from Let's Encrypt to our Spring Boot demo. And voila, the two keys are in place. But as you can see, it's not the right PEM and CRT and PEM and key. You have to convert them. Again, I copy the command for the private key. Again, sudo, open SSL, private key, the private key.pem, so this one, and we rename it to private.key with open SSL. Enter, and voila, we have our first key. Second command on open SSL, again Copy the command. Use sudo. Paste it in. Open SSL. This time is x509. Again, the full chain.pen to our Spring Boot demo cert certificate.crt. Enter. Et voila. We have now the two keys in place. Now we have to change the owner of these keys, because the keys now are root and the user from our Spring Boot is my username. So we change sudo and command chown, my name, username and group to the certificate.crt. Enter. And the last command is to change the owner from the private key. So sudo again, paste in the command chown, username, user group to private.key. Enter. Now our keys are ready. The last thing we need to do is to change the application's properties. So we remove demo and we put certificate. Okay, and the private key is change demo to private. .key. See, private key and certificate.crt. Now we can start the app and see if everything is working for the moment. We run the app. See, we make some place, and you see Tomcat started on port 8443 HTTPS. See it here. Now we're going to open a browser window and see if everything is working fine. We open a new tab, paste in IP address, the domain name, HTTPS, the domain name we created from .org and port 8443. Enter, et voila, hello world. You see it's secured. Certificate, et voila. The domain name and the Let's Encrypt key. From September 11 to December 10. So it's 90 days valid. The next step is to renew the certificates. First, we go to the Certbot documentation, renewing certificates. As you can see, we have the command Certbot renew. Go a little bit down, and you see we have a pre-hook. That's a script that runs before the renew starts. We have a post hook. That's a script that runs after the renewal. And we have deploy hook that runs at a successful renewal. You see that here. When Certbot detects that a certificate is due for renewal, so it's ready to renew it, pre-hook and post-hook runs before and after each attempt to renew it. The deploy hook only runs after a successful renewal. So if everything is okay, deploy hook runs also. Pre-hook and post-hook run every time, but only if the certificate is ready for renewal. We have a couple of things here, but I explain it more from IntelliJ. So we open again our app. We stop app from running. We close it. And we're going to configure the cert directory. We're gonna do two things. We create a directory, new directory, and we call it Certbot log. Here we put logs from the pre-hook, the post-hook, and the deploy hook. Okay. A second directory, new directory, and we call it Certbot scripts. In this directory, we're going to write the scripts for the pre-hook, the post-hook, and the deploy hook. So we have two directories. Now we create in the Certbot log directory 3 files. Open, new file, and we call it Certbot deploy hook .log. You can call it whatever you want, but call it and give it a good name, I think. Add it to Git, okay, and we have our first log file. We create a second log file, Certbot post hook .log. Enter. Again, add it to Git, okay. See, we have our two logs. Another one, new file, Certbot pre-hook .log. Enter. Again, add it to Git, okay. Now we have our 3 log files. In the Certbot script directory, we create again 3 files for the scripts. Certbot deploy hook .sh. Okay, add it to Git, okay. Second one, Certbot post hook .sh. Oh, sorry, make a mistake. Certbot. Okay. And have two. The last one. Certbot pre-hook .sh. Okay. That. And voila. We have our 3 scripts and 3 log files. The log files are not necessary, but can help for debugging the situation. Now we're gonna open the Certbot pre-hook. You see it's empty, and I paste in some code. Paste. Here command for a script, and we echo Certbot pre-hook, the date, the domain, and the directory from the log file. See, Spring Boot demo, Certbot log, Certbot pre-hook .log. That's okay for the first one. The post hook. Again, I copy it, paste it, and the same for script. Echo Certbot post hook, date, the domain name, and the directory from the log file. We have to specify the full path name because Certbot is running as root. So we have to give the full path name. The last is the deploy hook. Again, I copy everything. Copy it and paste it in. Now we have more here. Again, script, echo Certbot deploy hook, date, and the log file. Then we remove the old certificate.crt. We remove the old private key, this one. We copy the key from the Let's Encrypt directory to the cert directory. First, the full chain.pem, so this one. Then we copy the private key .pem. Then we convert the full chain to the certificate and the private key .pem to the private.key. We change the owner from the certificates and we remove the full chain and the private key.pem. So the files are no more necessary and we remove them. That's the 3 scripts. Now we have to go back to the command line and configure the timers. Before we can continue with the configuration, we have to make the 3 scripts executable. Therefore, we open here terminal, go to the cert directory, to ls, all, so we can see. And as you can see, we have here 3 scripts, but they are not executable. See, we have not X. Therefore, we do sudo chmod plus X and the name from the script. First, we do certbot deploy hook .sh. Sudo, we need to give password. Et voila. Now the second one for the post hook and for the pre hook. Again, we do ls all, and as you can see, the scripts are now executable, all 3 of them. Very important, you don't forget that. Now we can go to the command line here and continue with the configuration. Now it's time to explore the Let's Encrypt directory. Therefore, we go to root access, password, go see, Let's Encrypt, enter, all, and you can see we have a couple of directories: accounts, archive, CLI, ini file, live directory, renewal, and renewal hooks. First, we open the live, and that's again, and we have one directory with the name from our domain name. We open it, ls all, And as you can see, we have a couple of chain certificates. Cert.pem, chain.pem, full chain PEM, and private key.pem. For us, it's only important the full chain PEM and the private key PEM. Cert and chain are for special cases. We go up, again up, and we do this. Now we go to renewal. Now that's again. Here we have the name from our domain.conf, a configuration file. I'm going to open it. And you see, we have renew before expire is 30 days, sorry, but it's commented out. The version, archive directory, shared directory, private key directory, chain directory, full chain directory, and for renewal parameters, the account, authenticator, the server, and the key type. This file we're gonna configure in a minute. We go back one step, that's again, and we open renewal hooks. We do ls, and here we have 3 directories: deploy, post, and pray. Here we can put, in these directories, we can put scripts, but the scripts are for global use. The scripts we use, we go back to IntelliJ, the scripts here are only for this certificate. The scripts here in these 3 directories are global, are for all the certificates. That's another thing. We go back one step. We open accounts. Yes. And you see we have account. Back. And we open the archive. That's again. Here we have again our domain name. That's all. And here we have our 4 certificates. Now we're gonna open the timers. Copy the command. Sudo systemctl list timers. Open it and see we have here all the timers in the system, and we have Certbot renew service and Certbot renew timer. Within 4 hours the timer is gonna run. Now we can look inside the 2 timers. First, the timer, systemctl, cat, certbot renew dot timer. Here you see, this is timer to set the sender of automatic renewals every day at 0 and 12, 0 minutes, 0 seconds, a random delay of 12 hours, persistent true, wanted by timers.target. Second command is the service. Here you see this service automatically renew any Certbot certificate found. The environment file, type one shot, the renewal command. You see Certbot renew non-interactive, non-random sleep, but pre-hook, post-hook, renew hook, deploy hook, and Certbot args. We only use pre-hook, post-hook, and deploy hook. Here we see the file, and I'm out stop failure mode, abort, and voila. Normally, you don't have to change this file. The next step is to configure the renewal. Therefore, we go one step up, other, to ls, and go inside renewal. ls, open the configuration file. And you see, I showed you the file before. Now we're going to configure the pre-hook scripts, the post-hook scripts, and the deploy hook scripts. I copy the command, sudo certbot reconfigure, the cert name, the domain name, the path from the deploy hook script, see, certbot deploy hook script, the pre-hook script, and the post-hooked script. See, the scripts are in our Spring Boot demo cert directory, certbot scripts. Enter. You want to reconfigure it? Do you want to run the deploy hooks or not? I want to test them, so run. Simulating renewal. It's only take a minute. Et voila, successful updated configuration. If we do now cat and the name from the config file, enter, and you see we have 3 new lines. Pre-hook, the post-hook, and the renew hook. If we go now to IntelliJ and we open the pre-hook log file, you see we have 1 line. Pre-hook run on September 11 on 15 hours. Also, the post-hook has 1 line and the deploy hook has 1 line with the domain name. You also see the certificates are changed. The old one are gone. So the deploy hook script, where we remove the files, has worked. Okay, the last thing is to configure the timers. To test if everything is working fine, we're gonna change the renew before expiry to 90 days and comment it out. So we do V, the text editor, and the name from the config file. Enter. We go insert mode. We delete the comment and set 30 days to 90 days. This means the next time the timer is going to be activated, the scripts are going to be run and the certificate is renewed. Escape, colon, WQ, so write and quit. Okay, to test if everything is working fine, we go back to IntelliJ and start our Spring Boot app. Run it. See console, and you see here Tomcat started on port 8443 HTTPS. We open a private window, paste in the domain name HTTPS and port 8443. hello world, everything is working fine. Go to secure, more information, and view certificate. You see here the domain name, let's encrypt, and the validation times. We copy everything here, copy it, open text editor, and paste it in. We're going to save it for later and wait until the certificate is renewed. We are ready to test everything. We're going to see here in the console if the certificates are renewed. We're going to open the command line again and do system ctl list timers certbot renew dot timer. You see the timer gonna run at 19 or 35. That's about 3 hours from now. I open second tab, SSH, password, do sudo certbot certificates. Okay, password. And you see here the certificate. Now we're gonna put that aside and wait until the certificate is renewed. I come back when it's so far. As you can see, the log file is adapted. We have a new line and the console from Spring Boot is also activated. After the successful test, we're going to look at the certificate. Run the same command sudo certbot certificates. Sudo, password. And voila. See what we see. Expire date 25/12/10, 10 o'clock. See here the new certificate, expire date 25/12/10, same, but 16, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you see we have a new certificate. Now we open a browser window, paste the domain name, so HTTPS domain name 8443, enter. You see hello world, it's working. You see it's secure. We click on it, connect secure, more information, and view certificate. See it here. I have here cloud block with the certificate from before. You see the same, the time, then here 4 o'clock in the afternoon. See the difference. So we have a new certificate automatically generated. We can close the window, close information. The last thing we need to do is to repeat the timer installation. So we do root access, password, we go to the team, Let's encrypt. LS. New. LS again. And we have the config file. Change the config file. Enter. As you can see, we have here renew before expire 90 days. We have to make it commented again and we make 30 days. So we do insert. We make 3, 9 all the way, and we make it a comment. Go to the command, column, WQ, so write and quit. Okay, and voila, our system is now okay, and we can stay it like it is. So do that. Last thing we do is to look at the log files. See, we have here the pre-hook log, the post-hook log with the domain name, and deploy hook we have already. So you see, everything is working fine. You can also command line, open new tab, SSH, password, we go to project, so Spring Boot demo, cert, this again, and we go to, you see here, the certificates. You LS home, and as you can see, the certificate.crt and the private key are from 735. Are at the end of this video. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up. Thank you very much and see you later.